Well, good morning and shalom, shalom. I thought I'd just spend a little bit of time to go over a little bit of this kind of construction. This is, of course, very small, simple greenhouse, but the style of construction can really be used multitude of ways. You can see I don't have a whole lot of lumber here. I would not frame anything greenhouse-wise 16 on center. I think that's 8 feet, 4 feet split. So I'm going to use that insect netting. I think I'm going to pull that piece of plastic off the top, put the insect netting, maybe the plastic. I'm not sure. It gets really hot in there in the summertime with the plastic on, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this little thing yet. It'd be nice next couple frosty mornings to have it covered. Got a bunch of stuff planted in there. See the kale? So I actually just built that right off the beds. The beds were there. It doesn't take a whole lot of wood to hold plastic. And you can see where it's bending and bowing, and this whole framing system's been exposed 2 years. No plastic on it. Well, the wood isn't in that bad shape. Like, these are just pressure treated spindle or ballast or whatever they are, spindles for a porch that I had laying around. All just parts and pieces, one by for the roof. So just attached to the beds there, but really, I mean, just enough vertical framing to hold up the lateral framing. Just staple down. I'll bring out a big stapler here. So I'm probably going to cut. I'm actually going to cut. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut this roof line here and move it up there to the top, so that I can actually bend over in this space here and work without killing my back. But I see entirely way too much framing being put onto greenhouses, like, or even sheds. If you're framing 16 on center, take a look and see, like, timber framing is a good thing to look at. Timber frame designs, incorporate more of that type of thinking into your construction creativity or creative side of your brain, and use a lot less lumber. Costs a lot less. This is better for the environment, unless you're milling your own lumber on site. Like all this stuff, some of that's flooring from a job and leftover parts and pieces. And I'm gonna move that fence. I was gonna try to construct a bigger greenhouse kind of off in the back here. If I owned this piece of land, I would have it right into the bank. Like, this would be a perfect sun orientation bank to have a greenhouse sticking out of. But we don't. We just rent here. So this is our little backyard. But I just wanted to touch base. Like, I won't even do anything with that. I'll just put the plastic up over that and pull it tight, and it'll work relatively well. So there's the insect netting I might put up, but I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. Bugs are a big problem in Tennessee. Just don't overframe things. Like, it's, double top sill plates. And what are you going to land a helicopter on your greenhouse? Or you're going to park a tank up there? Like, you're so overly engineering things. It's holding plastic. It needs to stay to the ground, and it needs to hold plastic. Like, I mean, you can get as nice. I like the garden look. I might add a little bit more of the live bark edges and stuff like that, and I kind of like the twisted, messed up, not so perfect look. But it doesn't have to have that much framing. Nothing does. Yeah, so nothing really. I don't think anything has to be framed 16 on center. Timber framed, balloon frame things is where I would go. Even in new construction here in Tennessee, they could kiss my butt on their codes. They don't follow the codes that are important anyways, but there is nothing that is safer about having, anything framed 16 on center, or even 2 foot on center. 4 feet, 8 feet, 6 feet with the timber frame type construction is the way to go, my friends. So anyways, and then just a little peek. I'm moving this bed around, so I wanted to some of our garden soil that's been here for a while. It's pretty nice looking stuff. And there's some compost there that needs to get turned into it. It's a lot of food scrap waste, and then I don't know where I'm going to put my compost pile. But I make a lot of food scrap waste, so there's a lot of wormy worms in there. I gotta move all that stuff and get that little bit of greenhouse there. But use what you have. Do what you can do with what you got. And that's what I'm going to be doing today to finish this up. And if I happen to start another one, those pine trees there in the back are getting too tall. I living here another 5 years, I wouldn't want those blowing onto our house. I don't know what type of pine they are, but they're pretty weak. So I might be using some of that green pine in there. There's probably enough there that I could frame up another bigger greenhouse if I so had the inkling. We'll see what today involves. I'll be willing. It'll be a productive, blessed day here, and the same and many more onto you, my friend. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was a little bit of value to you. Like I said, things don't have to be framed and built so you can park a tank on it. A lot of times simple is better. I said, look at especially sheds, greenhouses, timber frame, posts in the corners, and that's it. And everything else is just to hold up your furring strips, pretty much. So that's, vertical crosswind braces. Yeah, that's all cool, and you're showing off your abilities, your carpenter construction capabilities, but it's just not required. So this thing, we don't get any snow load here, get a little bit of wind, we're pretty sheltered, so that has a lot to do with it. And like I said, the thing's just attached to my garden boxes, which are about to rot out. Those were won by pine on the ends there, so I'm going to clean up cleaning up all this plastic and getting everything ready. I think we're about out of frost dangers for the most part, so I did plant peas and kale, and I watered that this morning. I have some aloe. Oddly enough, I have some aloe that I bought in Walmart, big blade of aloe, and blended it up last night. I was using it for my inside, the starts and stuff, the zinnia starts and other starts that I have inside tomato wise, and I left my blender Carfet on the counter, and I come back in and my wife was like, oh, I drank the last little bit of that milk you made. Like, huh? She's like, oh, it was kind of creamy and it was in the blender, and I drank it. It's like, well, I should have probably washed the piece of aloe off before you drank it, but so we might be on to a new kind of plant-based milk alternative here. She said it was good and creamy, tasted really good, but she really couldn't tell that it was aloe. So unless somebody dumped a cup of almond milk in my blender after I was done with it, maybe I had left a little bit of the aloe. So I'm gonna feed these bags. So that big mistake, the last video, I don't know if you're watching videos, last video I wasn't watering. I gotta water these bags again. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I might not. But I just forgot, being January, February, and I just don't think about watering stuff when it's cold outside. But you do have to water stuff nonetheless. But anyways, I'm gonna come out and spray some aloe. There's arugula still there. Clean up, try to get, I don't know, my organization and cleanliness is portrayed right here. It's not too bad. The kids are out here with me every day, just, tearing it up. So I spend an hour cleaning up their mess and putting their toys back. And I got to work on my boys and that, and the discipline, and their discipline themselves. Not that I have to discipline them, it's their toys. So they just have to work on this. I have to help them be disciplined, which will probably require some discipline too. So That's what it is. And hey, if you watch this whole 10-minute video, we love you guys, and just thank you. And if I can help, even if you shoot me a set of design plans, I don't know a whole lot, but I've been, you know, hammer and nail in my hand since I was, knee high to a grasshopper. So I could probably save you a couple $100 and just design and cutting back the amount of timbers and hardware needed to build anything. And you can see my tomato trellises. They're all going to come down and just go into the fire. It's a bunch of recycled flooring that I took out for jobs. So just piled and screwed and lashed and tied, and it is just what it is. But just a beautiful day here in Cleveland, Tennessee. And thanks for watching. And I pray you're feeling better. Shalom, shalom.